And we will call the August 6, 2025 DRC meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. Community Development is present. Police Department.
Andrew King.
Public Works.
Dale Smith.
Fire.
Jeremy Holderfield.
And Building.
John Hanson.
And I'll just remind all the applicants, if you could come up to the podium and we can get your comments on the record. The meeting is being live streamed. We will start with the first item on the agenda, annexation of 5118 Plymouth Sorrento Road. I'm the project manager on this. I believe the applicant is in attendance. If you'd like to come up and give a description of your project, we would be happy to hear that. So, Mr. Spain, or whoever you're designated.
Hello, Kelly Turner, LPG, on behalf of Sips Tavern. So this project is the tavern that's located right there off of Plymouth Sorrento Road. This project has been a tavern for a very long time. It was closed down for a short amount of time, and now we're trying to get it back up and running.
And it's my understanding that the project or the property's in the county, and it lost its non-conforming status in the county, and therefore that's why the applicant is requesting the annexation into the city to reestablish this as a tavern use on the property. I know there's a couple new members of the DRC that haven't seen this since, so any questions for the applicant on this? Okay. And the annexation is discretion of the city council. And then as our city attorney had indicated to the applicant's attorney, that the planning commission would hear the rezoning and the future land use amendment prior to the annexation going to the city council. With that, any additional questions or comments?
With this tavern, there's changes or anything? I mean, I know we're here for annexation. I'm just kind of curious. Are they looking to change the structure area of it, or is this what I'm looking at right here in front of me?
We're not going to change the actual structure, but we are going to beautify the place. We're going to do a little site work, like get the parking up to standards and such. But the building itself is good.
How far is your nearest fire hydrant from that structure?
I'd have to look to see the actual footage, but I can provide that information back to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And this is contained within an annexation agreement that the applicant is elected to do that would try and bring the property up to Kelly Park interchange form-based code standards as much as possible. But like I said, the annexation is discretion of the city council. And so if the property is not annexed, then, that's that. So, all right. Community Development has nothing further to add. Police.
No comments.
Public Works.
Are you going to be paving the parking lot? Is that what you mean by bringing it up to standards?
We did see some standards that allow for some alternative surfaces. So we do plan to pave some and then keep some as alternative surface just to keep the ISR down.
And I assume that'll come back for another DRC review when they do that, other site plan?
Yeah, they would have to come back for a site plan. Yes.
Yes.
Fire.
No other comments, thank you.
All right. And Building.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, and per the terms of our joint planning area agreement with the county, we'll have to notify them of the dates for the public hearings for the annexation as well as the future land use and the rezoning. We have to give a 30-day notification of that. So, any questions for us? Any additional questions?
I don't have any questions at this time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is Adam Retail Plaza. And it looks like our project manager, Amir, is celebrating his birthday today. So we'll wish him a very happy birthday. So I guess my birthday present to him is I'll take this one over for him. So the applicant is here. If you wouldn't mind giving us an overview of your project, we'll go from there.
Good morning. My name is Ali Tarani with Tarani Consulting Engineering. The project is an existing location, tire store next to between the car wash place and Wawa located currently. It's a tire replacement. The owner would like to demo the existing structures and have a new buildings placed. The buildings would be very similar to Cooper, like block wall coming with a metal building on the top of it. Um, the purpose of that buildings would be retail, mostly retail. He's going to maintain his business on the east portion of the building, and on the other side, he's going to have kind of like grocery and a small carry-out restaurant type of things.
Okay. Have you submitted any architectural elevations?
I did.
Okay. And you mentioned a metal building.
Well, it's partial, like metal building on the top.
Uh-huh.
Again, it's exactly the same as Cooper buildings on the.
Okay. The issue is that this property is zoned mixed use downtown, and it's in the downtown, and there's certain architectural design guidelines that are required for that. The Cooper buildings are zoned industrial,
Okay.
so they're not in the downtown, so they require different architectural elevations. So your architectural elevations will be subject to review of Development Design Guidelines, Section D of the Land Development Code,
Okay.
and the mixed use downtown standards. All right.
Thank you.
Any questions for the applicant? Does not appear so. Okay. Community development has nothing further. Police,
No comments.
Public Works.
And did you get a chance to see our comments?
Yes, I received the comments, the last one, like late afternoon, so I didn't have a chance to go through and analyze it, but I have seen the comments and I have some questions I would like to give a reviewer in depth to see what we can do.
We can talk after the meeting if you'd like.
I can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yes, I did.
Fire.
You did review my comments regarding fire suppression.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Building.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, Crossroads, Kelly Park, FTD, FD1, and FD3 Revision 3 Construction Site Plan.
I know.
Gene.
It wasn't me. I didn't come up with a name, but this is an approved CSP. However, they are revising it because, as you all know, Waypoint Boulevard, that intersection with KPR or Kelly Park Road, has been constructed. So I guess they're just making some. I think it's more of a road related utility, from what I can see in the plans, utility kind of changes. I didn't get any comments. The applicant won't be able to make it this morning. So if you have any questions, Dale, I didn't get anything from Public Services. I was wondering if y'all were okay with this.
Okay, I actually did make a comment and said that you reviewed all the changes and they're acceptable. Most of them are the site changes around the buildings themselves,
Okay.
relocating water lines, changing the pipe sizes, nothing that would impact any stormwater running off or any traffic circulation. It was just small internal changes.
Okay. I will have the comments reissued today via the portal. I don't know if it captured it when I did it yesterday. But yeah, I'll relay that to the applicant.
Any additional questions or comments for Gene? Jeremy, you have any questions?
No comments, thank you.
All right. Community development has nothing further. Police,
No comments.
Public Works. Any questions or anything additional, Public Works?
Building has no comments.
Public Works, any questions or comments? Anything additional?
No comments.
Okay. Fire.
No other comments, thank you.
Building, do you have any questions or comments? All right, thank you. Okay. Final item, invitation code construction site plan. I'll stand in for the birthday boy on this one as well. And Ms. Fisher is here. You received your comments from DRC. Anything you'd like to discuss?
Good morning, all. I'll talk fast, and happy birthday to Amir. Ready? I'm gonna go in order too, so I'm gonna go really fast. The plat. Do we do a preliminary plat and then do the final plat, or how is that?
Yeah, so the legislation changed on platting, as you're probably aware. It's now a DRC staff level approval, so it would just be a final plat.
But do you want it now, or normally we're not doing them until we're in construction?
You can defer till
Can defer. Okay.
Yeah. And you might have want to talk to Public Works about bonding though for the infrastructure.
Normally we'll do a performance bond. The school capacity determination, we sent it to you guys, and I thought y'all sent it to Orange County.
We have not seen it. We can go back and double check the files, and I don't recall anything coming back from the county on that.
Same here.
Okay, all right. But yeah, we have to have that before
Oh,
we can.
you want me to
issue.
just email you and
Yeah, if you could.
then the models and elevations must meet city standards. We've submitted renderings. What do we just need to add a note, or how do we address that comment?
Yeah. So, were you issued any comments in regards to the
Mm-mm.
elevations? Okay, so they're probably under review currently.
Okay.
And I'll touch base with Amir on that one.
Okay. Sorry, if I don't write it down, I'll forget.
Yeah.
Mr. Wharton, who I know is behind me, the lovely Mr. Wharton, you're asking for 2 points of vehicular access. We have one proposed now and one's future.
I'm not sure those are my comments.
It has your name on it. Want to see it?
Bill,
got
I
notes on it?
actually put that in the transportation
at it.
portion
Oh.
of it.
Dale
And
and I were working
And
together.
that's directly out of the code that says you have to have 2 points of access, or you can have 1 point with emergency access, but it has to be approved by the DRC. So that's why that comment is on there.
And that's what we had initially discussed during the
Is-
MEP process.
Is we've got the future one,
Mhm.
I
and
mean,
then we've got the
the future's not really defined though. I'm still on. I mean,
That's what
I know
the
we've had
code
this discussion
says.
last time, but
Right.
there's no future. There's hope. That's not a future plan. That's just hope someone buys a property and gives us emergency access.
I know. But that's
We're
what,
already on a tight enough neighborhood the way it's designed. I have multiple comments on here with obstruction auto turn issues with our vehicles even making access in there. Now we're not going to have a secondary access for this neighborhood. I have major concerns about it. I don't think it's appropriate not to have emergency access when it's already in place and before people start moving in there.
I understand.
I don't feel that that's an accurate way to handle it. Saying it's a plan, we all have plans, but what is the plan? We can't just say it's planned. I don't agree with it at all.
Then that's a discussion you need to have with the applicant.
Okay.
well, I think we've hit on that a number of times that we back when we did the major development plan that we were meeting the code, and that's what the code had required.
But the code is
I
very
un-
vague on what it says, and that's you hit on it multiple times. But I've never agreed and never. I've had an issue with it since the beginning, and I'm still not changing my stance on it.
That's
I'm looking
fine.
at it from an
I'm-
emergency and a safety standpoint of the citizens moving in there, and for the fire department to make access. And as of right now, not having emergency access is not following what we hold everybody else accountable for. We're saying there's a plan.
I think that's
What is the plan?
I think that's almost an issue you need to have with the board, not with the applicant. We were just
Probably
going by
maybe
what
that's something we could look at changing in the code itself, just to.
I mean, meanwhile, though, if we change later, I mean, it is what it is. But it says plan. What is the plan? Is what I'm asking. If I have a plan in my hands that says this is what we're going to do, then I'm comfortable with it. But as of right now, the plan is so vague that there's not a plan. There's hopes that someone buys the property next to them and moves and puts an emergency access road on it. That means
I don't disagree with you. I'm just not the person to have the conversation with.
gotcha.
That's just your code.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not disagreeing. We thought we should have been able to use our access that we already have in 436, and we were told no by former members here. That would have been your access. And that would have made a lot more sense for emergency, but who am I? Okay, moving on.
Well, I mean, and I get it. And please, by all means, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just very frustrated over this situation, because to me, there's nothing built there right now. Nothing has happened there right now. Now's the time to come up with an answer and a solution to fix this problem. And the problem to me is there's not emergency access. So obviously, I have major concerns with it.
Did you try the property to the east,
We
the
did-
big
we did.
parking lot?
We
Okay.
did several times. And back in the day, Pam had also reached out to them as well. And we got a no, and a no. Yeah, so we've definitely tried. And then, sorry, not to say names, but yeah, we've tried. We've tried. The owner of the property has tried, and the city of Apopka staff has tried as well.
And I think the access to 436, if you look at the grade difference, I don't really think you would have an access there.
We had a way to combat that last time. This is the second time this project's come through. It was apartments. but city staff was adamant that they did not want us to have the access on 436. Very adamant. Yes. Hello.
Good morning. Jeremy, that secondary access needs to be only stabilized access, right? Doesn't have to be
I require
fully.
paved, but stabilized. It's got to be
Mhm.
paved. We don't take. The
Okay.
problem we have with it is, in the past, the stabilized access was taken to levels of stabilized with grass growing over it, with no sun, with barely being able to figure out where it's located, what the point of it is. So we've gone away from that, and we're asking for paved access.
Okay.
And I'm open minded to someone's going to
Mhm.
put a property there, whatever the idea of it all.
Yes.
But in the meanwhile, giving us a stabilized access to get in there in case of emergency is critical. I mean, we're dealing with townhomes. This is, we had
Okay.
a significant fire in there. That's pretty a pretty tough situation for the fire department to deal with. So, you want to make sure that we have access points to get in.
Okay. Is there any possibility that can be placed in the northwest corner there? Or there's already a unit there. It's hard to see from, like, maybe in this area here.
I don't think we would be able to have enough room to get another access.
Because you will need a 20 feet unobstructed, right? But the paved area doesn't have to be 20 feet wide.
We require it, but I mean,
It can't be off the alley because the alleys are only 14 feet paved.
can we meet offline and discuss it?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
I think ultimately the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
Come up with a plan, but I just can't. Apologize. I just can't. I can't continue just letting it happen.
No.
We
Absolutely.
got to make
Yes.
we got to make a decision I'm comfortable with, and I'll be okay.
Yes. I think we can have a meeting and discuss that in more details.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy.
Vlad, real quick, does the code state stabilized surface?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't have a record.
That's we got to be
Yes.
careful with that too.
Yes,
If it
yes,
just says that would
Yeah,
need to be.
that's why I posed the question. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, since we've got fire already on fire, the auto turn. You had a question, not knowing if the street parking will obstruct our auto turn.
When I was looking at your auto turn you guys provided with this, I think initially I quoted as you guys had the wrong size truck, but it looks like you fixed that or corrected it. Well, it's close enough. You've corrected that, but my concerns were we able to make those turns on the I would call, I guess, the south end of it, the closest to 436 area? Are those turns seem pretty?
You won't be driving in the alley. That would
That's
basically
just-
be a hammerhead down there until that future connection is provided.
So that's going to be a hammerhead going down in between, I guess, track A.
I can't see track day, but going north and south
Center is just an
are alleys.
All right, I see what you're saying.
Track A is basically an alley going down through there.
Because from the auto turn, just looking at what it shows, that was my concern. My truck trying to make these turns. That's what I was following. Either I'm really confused on this, or
Can you switch me to the auto turn page? Thank you. Maybe right there. Let me.
my auto turn basically shows what he's got right there
Oh,
on the screen.
yeah.
And see where
Yes, I do. Let me correct that. Yeah.
That's what my confusion is on.
My CAD tech does that and not me. And so, yeah, he's not. I'll get that corrected. That is on me.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the rest I have is for public services. Is that you, Dale, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so a lot of these comments, well, we'll just start with one. Alley pavement needs to be 20 feet wide. Your code says 14 feet.
Okay, I was,
And I just checked your code this morning.
looking at the green book. Are these going to be one-way alleys?
No, there'll be two-way alleys, but they're not for like emergency personnel. But
We have garbage trucks. Are we picking up the garbage?
You are
behind the
picking up the
buildings?
garbage from the
Yeah,
alleys.
so now we need an auto turn, and we need to give you our garbage truck size.
I can give you, if you'll get me your auto turn, the garbage truck size, I'll do the auto turn. But yeah, your code was for an 18-foot wide. Your code said 18 feet wide for the alley. I think it said 14-foot minimum pavement. We've provided, I think, 16-foot minimum pavement.
Okay.
But yeah,
then-
so that's just on your code.
And then we'll need some signage because the
There's
garbage truck has to pick up on the right. So, which means you're going to go, one side will be going north and one side will go in south to keep the garbage trucks.
So I spoke with your garbage guy already. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Joshua.
When Diana was here, and so we don't have dumpsters. We're not providing dumpsters. Diana wanted us for lots 1 and 2 and 37 and 38. The garbage person said he was fine, wouldn't have any trouble with the way it was. So she asked us if we could put the concrete pads so that they could walk their garbage cans over to that concrete pad. So those are not dumpsters, those are just a garbage pad for the 2 end units at the end of building 1 and building 6. But if you want me to take those back off, based on the conversation with your,
Well,
I don't want to call him the garbage person. I don't know what his, I don't
well,
remember what his name was.
Josh Robinson, the
and,
sanitation.
yeah, I'll talk to Josh about
His
this.
name. Yes, if you want to talk to Josh and get back with me, because I did talk to him. Okay, I jumped ahead. So that was, yeah. So just so that you know, those are not dumpsters. So Dale will talk to Josh. And then on number 2, you said the taper on the lane offset needs to be increased. Where are you referencing?
Well, you've got left-hand turn, and the way you've sort of offset the things. I mean, it's a sharp angle. You'd actually need to go a little bit farther, and then the additional comments that I added late to it. And this was after talking with Vlad. Your traffic study doesn't show a need for that left-hand turn.
We know.
And
we know.
We would just as soon not have it.
Can we get rid of it? This is another thing that's been going around. Is we know that it doesn't. When we did the apartments, that was a fight. That was 2 different sides. Our traffic person said it's not needed. There's not enough trips generated, and that was with even more trips on this project. City staff wanted it. City staff is the one who designed it, and now if we can get.
Right, and that was a former DRC staff. That's really at the discretion of Public Works.
I heard get rid of it. Woo!
I'm looking over your shoulder. We want to
Get.
the water line too, right?
Okay. And then discussion was had last time when this was the apartment project. It went back and forth. Is it Orange County? Is it Apopka? Is it Orange County? Is it Apopka? Apopka said it was Apopka's Road, Monroe.
From what our GIS shows us, we maintain the right of way. Orange County has control of the road, so you'll have to permit.
Are you sure? Because that was a big thing last time.
I asked our GIS person; he was going to check into it again. But when you look at the city's GIS, it shows us truly being responsible for the surface maintenance, but it does not have us being responsible for the roadway or the drainage system. So the drainage system that you're tying into is apparently Orange County, and then the roadway, so you'd have to permit with them.
We thought the same thing last time, but city staff was adamant that Monroe is Apopka's.
Okay, we can.
Okay.
I've got Mike looking into it to verify it, but as of 3:00 yesterday, we were still thinking it was ours for surface maintenance and Orange County for the roadway.
Okay. And then you want the water main to be replaced from where to where? Just in front of our property? What's the limits to this?
Well, we would. It's an AC line. I don't know where you're going to stop once you start the replacement.
Once you start, it'll start breaking,
and it goes all the way back almost to the Winn-Dixie.
So from where to where are you wanting us to replace the water main?
What we would like to have it is the entire run of it from the Winn-Dixie down to just past the lift station is all AC.
Okay, that's a little. Yeah, that's a big ask for a small project.
And that's what Vlad said. We need to sit down and have a discussion with you about the turn lane and the water main.
Okay. Okay, so we'll have another discussion. And then a lot of your comments I didn't understand, like you're asking to show the stop signs. The stop signs are on there. You asked for a sidewalk easement. There's a sidewalk easement shown on there. There's a drainage easement shown on there.
Well,
I didn't know what was.
well, I didn't see the drainage easement, and the minimum
Oh,
drainage easement size is 20 feet by our code.
we have. Can you scroll? Well, we have it adjacent to Monroe, so it's a. I can't read it. I'm too blind. To the left, there's one. It's called out to the left. We have a 10-foot right-of-way dedication and then a 5-foot utility drainage and sidewalk easement up against
Okay. But,
Monroe.
but this is also in between the buildings.
Yes, that one I agree with.
Okay.
This one was specifically for when you asked for it along Monroe.
And then if you'll go to the entrance road, that storm drain is very close to the right of way. So if we ever go to maintain it, we're going to have to encroach upon the area outside the right of way if we ever have to fix a cave in, do any maintenance on it. So we need an easement,
I believe
along.
these roads are private.
Are they?
These roads are private.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't think you guys allow us to give public roads, if I remember last time, right?
I don't recall, honestly.
Yeah, I thought they had to be private.
I think the city requested them to be private. They didn't want to take the infrastructure, but I don't think there's anything that mandates that they're private. I'd have to go back and double check.
There's a table on the plans.
There's a what?
There's a table on your plans that talks about the different tracks, what's private.
Yes.
And maybe I missed the track A.
Yeah, I have tracked A as a tract instead of a right of way. So can you zoom back out? I'm sorry. If zoom to the whole page and then go up to probably page 3. And then right there, go up one more. And that's probably going to have the track go up again. I keep lying to you. And then zoom to, to, I think it's your bottom. We've had it as a private tract A.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's all I have, and I think the rest of it, yes, and it. Oh, wait, one more. Yes, and I'm sorry. We do have the sanitary sewer pipe sizes. Everything is shown on there. The water is not. I know you asked to see the sanitary sewer pipe sizes and links. That's on the plans.
All right, but I also want to see profiles because you do have.
We'll do
crossings.
profiles.
Okay.
But I didn't know if you didn't see the pipe sizes and links, or
no, on the sanitary, yes, I did. But
yeah. Okay. And then, how do we get the calculations for the existing lift station?
Your engineer is going to have to, look at what's flowing into the lift station. I mean, we can provide the flows.
Yeah, we would need that from you guys.
And I was told it's a very small lift station, and it was only sized for what is on that particular property. So you will probably have to upgrade the pumps.
Are you able to get the information, or is it somebody else?
I'll go ahead.
Okay. I don't know who. Yeah. And then what do you mean with a drainage map showing adjacent property?
Well,
drainage. We have a grading plan and a drainage plan.
That's on your property, and
well, it shows It shows next door.
It doesn't really show offsite. It doesn't show any lines, and you've got property on the east and the west. The west is not developed. Just want to make sure, one, you're not blocking any drainage. Now the parking lot's fine. Yeah, I've been out there. I've walked it. It's fine. Have not walked the woods all the way to the back, but just you want to make sure that there aren't any pockets that are being trapped.
Can you go to our grading plan? Keep going.
Well, that's the grading plan on your site.
Right, but our contours go off-site. So it goes to the north, south, east, and west. So I'm not really sure what you're.
Well, there's really not. You usually don't get enough survey data, and if somebody has drawn enough contours, once you go off the edge of where the contours are, then becomes the person's, almost imagination as to which way they turn, left, right, or whatever. Just want your engineer to show me that water is going away from your site.
Okay. I mean, I think it is, and we've got swales. And if you're wanting more survey information, I need to
No,
know what.
your engineer can walk the site and just show
I'm
me.
an engineer. It's okay. It's
Okay,
me.
then walk the site
I have,
and show me some flow arrows with the water going away from the site.
but we have the flow. That's what I'm saying. We have the flow arrows on there, so I'm not sure what you're
Well,
asking me to do.
you're talking about the one arrow that's
Well, we
show
have a pond. We have a pond next to our site. So are you wanting me to put flow arrows on the adjacent property?
on the adjacent
You want me
property.
to
Yes,
put
ma'am.
flow arrows on the adjacent
Right.
property? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I just had no idea what you were looking for there. And there's the contours flow areas on adjacent property. Okay. I know you've asked for us to pre-post. Well, we did pre-post, so I don't know what on number 25. You're asking us to
Okay.
pre-post, but we have pre-posted.
I know, but the thing is, not all your site drains to the.
Part of it grades to the north, part of it flows to the south.
So your post development will only be that drains to the north.
I agree.
Okay. I
That's
guess I didn't see it in the calculations. I'll go back and look.
yeah.
But it looked like you were taking everything, to the north. But your pre-development discharge should just be that area that goes to
Right.
the north. Okay.
Yeah. A normal. We have to pre-post. We actually have a split basin. We have part that goes to the north and part that goes to the south.
Right.
So our south is going to be 0, but absolutely our north is still held to a pre-post.
To what goes to the north.
Right.
Then we'll be good.
Pre-post to the north, pre-post to the south. We just have nothing. Well, we actually do have something going to the south, but it's negligible. And then the side slopes of the retention pond are actually on the cross section.
I missed it. Then what are
Okay. Okay. All right. And if anything else, can I get your direct number so that I can call? I don't think I have. Is it on here?
I'll actually have to get that for you. I'm fairly. The last 3 digits are 813. It's 730. Yeah.
We think, or
No.
I know.
813 is my extension, and
It's perfectly fine.
it's a computer, phone system, an IP system.
Do you want to coordinate with everybody and me and Vlad if we want another meeting or just a Zoom call or whatever for some of this other stuff? Or
I work for Vlad, so
okay, okay, we'll circle back around. I'm vacation next week. The week after. I'm doing shit till then. Okay, thanks, guys. I think that's all I have, unless anybody's got something for me.
Any additional questions for the applicant? Community Development has nothing further. Police,
No comments.
Public Works,
no comments.
Fire,
No other comments. Thank you.
and Building.
I don't have anything.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Fisher. You're very welcome. Okay, under discussion, one thing I do want to make DRC aware of, and I'll send this information to you. On July 1st, 2025, the state or the governor signed into law Senate Bill 180, which basically is retroactive to August 1st, 2024. And what that does is that any area within the state that was affected by either Hurricanes Helene, Milton, or Debbie, which is the whole state of Florida, is subject to this requirement of the law. And it talks about emergency response and rebuilding. But the focus of the DRC's area is that you cannot adopt or enact any regulations that are more burdensome or restrictive on a property owner than what was in your code prior to August 1st, 2024. If you do, you can be challenged with lawsuits. We had to be very cognizant of that when we did the rewrite of the comprehensive plan. We had to delay that transmittal hearing. We had to go back and re-review it and make sure we weren't putting policies in there that were more restrictive. We'll have to do that with the land development code as well once we enact that rewrite and make sure that we're not putting any restrictions that are more burdensome on a property owner. There have been jurisdictions who have been challenged already. And one jurisdiction sent their comprehensive plan rewrite to the state, and it was deemed unacceptable and illegal, and they were told they have to start over from scratch, and they have to follow their old laws. Um, and it's a pretty wide ranging act, and it gives a lot of power to the landowners and the development community. It prohibits moratoriums on development. A jurisdiction cannot enact a moratorium, so the state has a lot of power over local governments on that. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. I'll send an email to the DRC summarizing that act that had been put together by the city attorney's office as well. And also, it looked like he left. The birthday boy made an appearance and then he left again. So, anybody have anything else for discussion? Hearing that, we're adjourned.